neon signs and the guitars glow. City of stories, wild and true. Austin, I found my song in you. From the Lone Star sky to the crowded streets, every heartbeat keeps the beat. Austin lights burning bright, dancing flames in the Texas night. Dreamers sing and the city believes, home of the heart where the soul never leaves. Austin, know you're calling me home, where the wild and the music roam. 6th Street echoes with voices loud. Legends rise from the cheering crowd. Under the stars, every note takes flight, a symphony of freedom in the summer night. From the rolling hills to the velvet sky, Austin spirit will never die. Austin lights burning bright, dancing flames in the Texas night. Dreamers sing and the city believes, home of the heart where the soul never leaves. Austin, oh, you're calling me home, where the wild and the music roll. Bat wings over Congress fly, sunsets paint the evening sky. Every soul who walks these streets finds a place where the music meets. Austin lights forever bright, guide me home through the Texas night. Dreamers sing and the city believes, home of the heart where the soul never leaves. Austin, oh, you're calling me home, where the wild and the music roll. Austin, you're a song I'll always know, in your light, my spirit.
Tonight's commentary is from the one and only Gavin. He's a legend in his own head, fuck's sake. Have a fab race and enjoy Gavin's top-class coverage of this World Esports Racing Championship at COTA. Take it easy into the first corner and don't be a dickhead. Safe and clean racing, lads. Good luck, drivers.
Finally, The Rock says, drivers, start your engine!
Engines roaring through the neon night, virtual tracks where the legends ignite. From every nation, racers arrive. In the world of esports, the dream is alive. Countdown is ticking, the engines ignite. WERC, we're chasing the crown. Lightning speed, never backing down. Side by side, we're rewriting the game. The world of sports racing knows our name. Digital sparks in a battle of skill. every corner, mastered every heartbeat still. Glory is waiting at the finish line. Legends are written one lap at a time. In the heat of the moment, we rise, we ascend. WERC, we're chasing the crown. Lightning speed, never backing down. Side by side, we're rewriting the game. The world of sports and racing knows our name. Victory's calling, the future is near. Watching forever, the champions are here. This easily crown is being known, lock it down. Stop us fine, I'll be right at bay. The world is come to wishing no believe. Down in our game, till green the wheel.
Well, good evening. Hello and welcome. The wait is over, and I'm just checking a few things out, and I'll be back with you in 1 second. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Gavin Bass1. I'm a streamer for F1 Leagues, and I've been very privileged to be invited here this evening by BN18 to do commentary on his first race of the season with this brand new league, WERC, on a Friday evening. The sexy Irish man. Oh my. I'm getting a lot of love on Twitch at the moment. A big shout out to Mortal Tree, the Raging Hawks on there. James is on. There's a lot of guys on there just giving me a lot of support, which is most welcome. But anyway, back to the business. It's WERC on a Friday night. We're racing in Texas, in Austin, Texas, on the famous track Cotta this evening. We're having a short quali and 28 laps. As I say, this is a brand new league, and I am seriously privileged to be here this evening as a guest. Commentary tonight while your resident commentator is on holiday. So before we start the quali, before we start anything, I just want to explain everything that BN18 has put an awful lot of work into this league. The guys behind the scenes, the admins, the stewards, everybody have been working frantically behind the scenes to set this profile and platform up for you guys to have a really good night on a Friday night. And all BN18 wants is some clean, respectful driving, and those who signed up for a Friday night to attend as best as they possibly can. He totally understands that life sometimes gets in the way, but this is not a platform for guys to come and go and just sort of pick and choose. This guy is very, very serious about this league, and I am absolutely certain, speaking to him, that this league is going to be a league that somebody really wants to be part of. So if you're dead serious about racing and you treat it as a real good competitive sport, you're in for an absolute treat. Good luck to everybody qualifying tonight and driving in the race, and I really do hope you enjoy the commentary this evening. I'm Gavin Bass 1, this is WERC, and this is Austin, Texas, and it looks like we have a dry qualifying. So let's get right into it. Running down your drivers for this evening. In one in the list tonight is Suspension 4177 in the Ferrari. In two is Kieran. Kiers, no. I'm just going to call you Kiers, and you're driving the Aston Martin this evening. On board to kick this evening is Dark Devil. In the Red Bull this evening is Grave Killer. In the McLaren this evening, driving is LFC James. Hiya, James. Good to see you out there. In the Mercedes, we have got Almighty Cloud. Driving the Ferrari, just coming out of the pits this evening, is Andy Allen. Good evening, Andy. And in the Alpine, we have Swifty. Then we have another Aston Martin driver the night, is called Fumfi. And in 10th in the Mercedes, we have Cackle. Anyway, I'll get to know these names. Cut me a bit of slack this evening because this is all new to me. In the Williams, we've got TTV Birchie. We've got the boss man in 12 there in the Racing Bull. That's IBN 18. And in the Haas this evening, we've got Bain. In the Racing Bull, la 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 la, it's the Raging Hawk, good friend of mine. And in the Red Bull this evening, we've got Helmuth. And finally, on the list this evening is John DT in the McLaren. So again, wishing everybody a fabulous quali. In the break, I'll be playing the national anthem, and I'll be giving you some statistics about the track this evening. And whenever you watch back, I hope you enjoy the intros and a little bit about Austin, Texas, just before the main intro this evening. Suspension just got out a wee bit squirrely there, and he's just nervous, to say the least. So I'm going to ride on board with, let's see, who's on a lap. I'm going to ride on board with this lad here in the Mercedes, and that is Pakic. So there's a 5-grid penalty already for the boss man for a collision. But round these S's he goes, and this is this guy in the Mercedes called Pakic. Pakic Kera. Into the left-hander, coming across the line, hits the DRS zone. One of the lads gets out of the way for him. That's good to see already. Bit of manners on the track. And he gets that Mercedes up to 199 miles per hour before he slams it round that left-hander onto the rumble strip. Takes all of that curb and tries to get that as tight as he possibly can as he goes round this really difficult little left-hander. Have to get this absolutely 100% right, and then he'll just put the pressure on now as he gets round towards the final two left-handers, and he'll go over the line. John DT gets the fastest lap at 1:38.282, so he is set to stall out for this evening. And 1:35.229 for the Mercedes of Kara. I'm going to call you Kara, I think. So Almighty Cloud 1:33.2. Piers is 1:33.3. Hackett is 1:35.2. John DT is a 1:38. Andy Allen puts a 1:43 in, and LF James is just about to start his lap. So we'll jump on with him. There's a 1:31 in from Fonfy. So a brilliant lap there for the Aston Martin driver at 1:31.971. That's the time to beat now, and that is the time everybody needs to aim for. So let's see what James can do. Must have the exact same setup in 199 miles per hour. Please don't hold this guy up. Give him room. He's on a lap. Guys, you need to move over. That's it. Oh no. That's not good. James's lap was slightly interrupted there, but hopefully not too much. Into the left-hander he goes. And over the line, it's going to be a 1:36.162, and that puts James, LFC James 10 in 6th position. On with the Raging Hawk. Looks like Helmuth is going to go. Helmaleth is going to go out from the rear of the grid. He has been disqualified for some reason. I'm not too sure exactly what happened there. I do know there was a 5-grid penalty for IBN 1818. So I'm not too sure. Were you involved in a little collision there? So far, this is looking like a fairly decent lap. Nice little late braking into this left-hander. Takes all of the corner onto the right-hand rumble strip. Over the DRS, he will go. Presses that button. Activates the DRS up into 8th gear. 199. Just touches 200 miles per hour before he slams into that left-hander. Racing Hawk is driving the Racing Bull tonight. I love the livery on this car, and it is absolutely amazing looking. This is looking like a pretty respectable lap. Oh, did he just... He cut that corner beautifully. I hope he got away with it. Oh, there's a 1:34.70 at 5, and that puts PSS Raging Hawk in 4th. Yes, James, I seen you getting impeded. I'm sure you'll be wanting to put a ticket in for that. But at least you've got 8 minutes and 55 left. Get out there and try and get another lap in. On with John DT. He's driving the McLaren. Up the hill he goes. Into the left-hander. Absolutely flings it into the right-hander there. He's wringing the revs out of this McLaren. I must admit, he really is revving her hard. Over the DRS he goes. He's using a bit of battery as well. There's the 202, 204 miles per hour. So he's the fastest man so far that I've picked up on that straight. So he's obviously set the wings quite low here, and he's going for top speed. That will compromise him slightly on the corners, but just let's see how he finishes this lap. Oh, he goes quite beautifully wide there. He's using every inch of the track. Let's see where this takes him. And that gets him a P10 with a 1:38.282. So quite considerably behind the front guys. Over the line the boss goes. He puts it in a 1:34.609. So he gets a provisional 4th place for IBN 18. Let's see else. On with Kakik again. He's trying to better a 1:35.229. Brilliant lap for you, sir, in the Mercedes. P5, provisional P5 for Hera. Back on with James. James was impeded in his first lap there, so he's out to try and beat this 1:36.162. Let's see how he is at the end of Sector 2. Oh, he hasn't improved. In fact, he's 0.3 down. So there's going to be no improvement there. Let's see who else is out on a lap. Let's go on with Birchie. Oh, he's actually out of battery. Let's have a lap with Andy Allen. See if Andy can beat this 1:38.886. He's still warming up, so we'll go on to Bain. Driving the Haas this evening, it is Bain. He's trying to beat that 1:36.391, and so far looks like he's doing a relatively good job doing it. Let's see what he is at the end of Sector 2. He was up in Sector 1 there. Attacks that left-hander. Takes lots of the line. That's a beautiful corner. Well done. Nicely under the traction. over the DRS. .201 miles per hour round the left-hander he goes. That's nice. Oh, he's just very marginally up at the minute. He needs a really good sector 3. He's still got 44% of that battery left, so I'm expecting that he's going to push really hard here. Eighth position and beats his first time by 5 tenths. So Bain's now in 8th position with 3 minutes and 15 to go. Oh, I just caught James doing a dance. Oh my goodness, James. I'm sure you're really glad I caught that on camera. Embarrassing, sir, embarrassing. Not to worry, reset yourself and keep going. James, that was brilliant. Thanks for the entertainment, buddy. All on out laps at the minute. I'm going to ride on board final lap with this lad here, and he is Kears, and he is in the Aston Martin, and he's trying to beat a 1:33.152. Oh, that's unbelievable stuff. Keep it going. Oh, that's noticeably quick. In the sector 2, he's up a 10th. But this lad, Fonfie, is in P1 at the moment with a 1:31.8. He's in a league of his own. Oh no, the guy's been impeded. These guys need to be told to pull over when there's people behind them. I know it's a new league, so this is all to be expected. It's all a learning curve, but these lads need to definitely get sorted out there. So 2 tenths up, but could have been better because he was impeded, but a 1:32.917 for the Aston Martin drivers. They are P1-2 at the moment. Almighty Clouds is in 3, and he's just finishing off a lap, and he's trying to beat his 1:33.204. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Almighty Cloud separates the Aston Martins in that Mercedes, and he gets P2 in the qualifying here at Austin, Texas in the Mercedes. Hera is in P4. Swifty is in P5. IBN 18 is in 6th at the moment in the Racing Bull. And I'm on board with Raging Hawk at the moment. Come on, the Hawk. Over the line he goes. 133.8 at sixth position. But look at that P1, 131.617. He is on an absolute flyer, and he is in a bit of a league of his own. Now, the big question is Fonafi a quality bandit? Has he got the patience? Has he got the skill? Has he got the determination? Can he play the long game? Well, this is what we're all here to see. But by God, he has definitely proved that he's a very, very fast lad in qualifying. So there's your positions. Funfi in P1, Almighty Cloud P2 in the Merc, and Kears is in third in the Aston Martin. Kara is in the Mercedes in P4, Swifty P5, Raging Hawk 6, IBN 18i is in 7th, Dark Devil 8th, Bane 9th, Gravel Killer or Grave Killer 10th, James 11th, Birchie 12th, John D is in 13th, Andy Allen is in 14th, and Suspension is in the Scuderia Ferrari and he's in 15th. So that is your quali over, and the guys are going to give it 5 minutes now while you all get yourself together and get sorted and get all your strategies together. I'll give you some track facts at the moment, but before that, I think we will play the national anthem. So I just want to get all my bits and pieces together and make sure that they're all working, and we'll just get on with that in a second. So good qualifying, couple of little incidents there with people impeding the track. I'm sure the boss will put a wee note out about that, and everybody can just tidy up on that, because you might just end up getting a quali ban for that, but let's see what happens on the first race. So anyway, here is your national anthem of the USA. Couple of little technical issues there, but we're back. I'm just turning everything off now so that I've absolutely no distractions. The only way you can talk to me is through Twitch. So chat away, guys. Always glad of the company. Always very glad of somebody keeping me company. But right now, on the grid, they are working out their strategies for this evening. This is Cotta. This is Austin, Texas, just south of Texas. This race has been going from 2012, and it's 3.462 miles long. 20 turns in total, including the very famous hairpin on turn 1, and then turns 3 and 6 is called the bobby pin. Vettel holds the fastest lap here in 2012, and the pit stop loss time is 18.6 seconds. There's a 29% chance of a safety car and a 57% chance of a virtual safety car. So those are the statistics for your track, and the guys now will be absolutely tuning those cars down in terms of fuel. They'll be selecting the tyres that they want to go out. Will they go out on the hards first of all? Will they go out on the mediums? Will somebody chance the softs? With it being a brand new league on the first night, I think there might be an inevitable crash. So if it was me, I would probably stick the mediums on, and then if there is a safety car, I can bounce in then and get my change done onto the hards and hopefully do the full race on the hards. The good news is the weather's good, and all looking super conditions for what should be a very, very good opener race for this new league, WERC, on a Friday night. For anybody just tuning in, my name's Gavin Bass1. I'm a stand-in commentator for tonight while your commentator is on holidays, and it has been a great honour to be asked by BN18 to cover this for you this evening, especially with it being your first league race. So here they go. It looks like they're off on a formation lap, and I'm just going to run down each and every driver with you. In the Aston Martin in P1 is Fonafi. Again, guys, you can maybe let me know what your real names are, or am I pronouncing these right? It's very difficult on the very first night. In the Mercedes, it's Almighty Cloud. Driving the Aston Martin in third position tonight is Keers. On board with the Merc is Kakik Kira. In the Alpine, it's Swifty in P5. In position 6, we've got PSS, the Raging Hawk in the Racing Bull. In 7, we've got the Dark Devil in the Kick Saba. Bane and Gravekiller have been disqualified from the formation lap because they must have crashed or touched, so that's not good. LFC James in the McLaren in P10. In 11, in the Williams, we've got Birchie. And in 12th, we've got the owner of the league, IBM 18. He's driving the Racing Bull. Just behind him, we've got John D, and he's in the McLaren. 14th position is Andy Allen, and his Ferrari teammate is right behind him, Suspension in P15. Helmuth is in P16 in the Red Bull. So they're going to be trying to get the maximum heat into those tyres. And let's just get all of the telemetry up. Let's get the tyre details up. And quite a little mixture there, mostly out on mediums. A couple of lads on hards, IBM and John, they're going for the long stunt. And Raging Hawk, Bane and Suspension are all giving those soft tyres a run. I don't think they'll last much more than about 4 or 5 laps. So they're wanting to get in, get another set of tyres on and go for a bit of clean air. And your qualifying leader didn't put the car on the grid right, nor did quite a few other guys. So there's definitely nerves here tonight, all experience and all learning. And I wish you all a very, very good race here tonight in Austin, Texas, as we line up and wait for those red lights to start to coordinate. Off we go. 3, 4, 5, red lights. And off we go at Austin, Texas. And it looks like there's a battle between the Mercedes and the Aston for P1. I'm just going to keep an eye on this corner, and it looks like virtually everybody gets round the first one cleanly. And we may just be off to a clean race here, which is going to be very, very pleasing to the owner of the league. That's a great sign, and long may it continue. But Almighty Cloud has taken the lead from Fonfi in P2, and Hera is in third position in the Mercedes. In fourth at the moment is the Racing Bull of Racing Hawk, and right behind him is the second Aston Martin of Keers. Tight in behind him is Swifty in the Alpine, and chasing him down is Dark Devil. LFC James is in the 8th in the McLaren with IBM 18 right on his tail, and Helmuth 2 is in the Red Bull behind him with his teammate Gravekiller right behind him. In the Williams in P12 is Birchie, John D 13th in the McLaren, Bain in the Haas, Andy Allen in the Ferrari, and right back is a suspension, and he is limping. And let's just see, yes, he's got damage. His right end plate is missing, and we're going to have to see him go into the pits and have an early stop. So on with the race leaders. I'm on with Fonfi in the Aston Martin as he goes up the hill. DRS is going to be enabled very, very shortly. And Almighty Cloud puts in the fastest lap at 1:36.9. And a nice little battle going on here in fourth position as well. So we'll just run on and just let all the drivers settle down, and then I can start to focus in on the battles and start getting a feel for what's going on. At this moment in time, I'm just trying to concentrate on making sure that I get everybody getting around those corners nice and safely. But definitely a battle going on here. On with Keers, and he's chasing down the Racing Hawk. And DRS will now be enabled. He has a wee look up the inside, and he just says to Racing Hawk, just giving you a little eye full of green there, just to let you know that I'm coming and I'm going to have a go at you. And have a go he does. Over the DRS he goes, and he takes Racing Hawk, and he makes a very clean move, tucks it into the inside, and he'll then take that position, and he'll start to track down Kara. Fonfi's taken P1. Bonifay. Nice little battle going here. But I'm going to go down to Gravekiller, because Gravekiller's trying to make a move here. Go on, the Killer. He's tracking down IBN 18. 1:36.493. Aston Martin gets the fastest lap of the race so far. Can he make a move on the hill under the DRS? He's got DRS, but he doesn't have the pace, so he's going to have to tuck in and wait for the second DRS zone. But I'm going to stay on board with Gravekiller to see if he can make the move on 10th place IBN 18 in the Racing Bull. Lap 3 of 28, Austin, Texas. Gavin Bass won, and it's WERC on a Friday night. This is a brand new league, and it's their first night of their new league. So all eyes on board, and let's have a brilliant race, guys. Has he got close enough to make a move under DRS? I don't think so. Definitely not. On with the race leaders. Real battle going on here. Right into that cockpit view. This is what he can see. All he can see is a big nose full of Mercedes. Right on board with this Aston Martin. Into the left-hander, he slams it. 136.108 for Almighty Cloud. So Almighty Cloud is absolutely sending it, but he has got Bonifay on the back end of him, and Bonifay is not hanging about either. So important to get these corners absolutely 100% right. You get the first one wrong, you get them all wrong. Nice and tight there into the left-hander, takes all of that, and he's catching, and he's doing exactly what he's planning to do. Over the line he goes, and he's chasing down Almighty Cloud, and he would just like to get a little bit closer and try and move under DRS. But he gets that braking very late, and that's lovely, and off he goes. On the Raging Hawk. Raging Hawk's just taking a position off Kira, and Kira's going to fight back. Kakik's going to say, don't you take that position off me, because I'm going to track you down and have a go at it back. But they're both under DRS, and they're both in a drag race. Let's have a look what they're like round the corner. Oh, that's very, very close. But they give themselves enough room. But the Mercedes of Kira takes it over, and the Racing Hawk is put back into 5th position in those soft compound tyres. Nice move on the IBM. Look at Raging Hawk. He's having another go. Oh, close he gets. Over the DRS he goes. Will he get him at the top of the hill? Will he do the inside cut here? He's going to have a look at it. He needs to get way in front before he can make a move like that. So he thinks better of it, and he hangs in, and he'll just harvest that battery and try and get it up to speed for the next DRS zone. I'm going to jump on with Bain. He's in P14 and he's trying to move. Andy Allen's following him. Nice to see everybody in a little battle. That's the beauty of having multi-standards in a league. Everybody's in their own little battles. And it looks like Andy Allen and Bain are having a fabulous little battle here for P14. So come on ahead, Andy. Knock yourself out. Get round that car. Just harvest that battery and keep yourself patient. Don't be rushing. Suspension gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He will be absolutely fuming at himself for that one. On with Dark Devil. Swifty's trying to make a move here in the inside, and he does, and he takes the Racing Hawk on that left-hander and makes an absolutely beautiful move. But the Racing Hawk's in the inside, and he's trying to make something of it, but there's nothing happening just right now. But look at that, they're actually wheel to wheel. He just knocks that Alpine slightly off track. That's very aggressive, but anyway, it's racing, and it'll be let off, I'm sure. Nothing too sinister going on there, but that was aggressive. Swifty's got the bit between his teeth. Oh, wow, that was a silly, silly move. The DRS was right in front of you. You should have just waited and got it cleanly. Now you're in a drag race, and this is furious stuff down this straight. Absolute battling going on here. On with the boss. He's chasing down James. James is going to have to defend furiously here to keep that Racing Bull off his tail. into the left-hander. He's going to get the DRS here, so he wants to get really close, and he has done. He's in a perfect position. He's got 49% of battery. He's pressing the button. He's going to make a move on the outside, and he's going to say goodbye. And there he goes. It's an inside move, and he takes it on. Okay, he holds it in the McLaren. As that, oh my goodness gracious, Grave Killer. It wasn't Grave Killer, sorry, it was IBN. Took a bit of a slide there. On with Helmuth. He's in the Red Bull and he's chasing down LFC James. Round the left-hander he goes, onto the DRS zone. On the Dark Devil. He's fighting still against the Raging Hawk. Those soft tires of Raging Hawk are going to be starting to ask for changes, I would have thought. Not too sure. I'm not all that familiar with this track. Haven't raced it myself in quite a few months. Yes, there he goes. Raging Hawk doing exactly what I thought he would do. He's getting off those soft tires and he's going to jump on to a set of hard compound. And I reckon he's going to try and make those hard compounds last for 20 laps. Let's see if I've got that right. Yes, I have. He's going on to the hards, so he's out in his second tires and he's going to try and make those last 20 laps. Interesting strategy. Hope it works. On with the Red Bull. He's still chasing down, very, very much chasing down FC James. This is an absolute battle going on here. They are furiously fighting each other for this position, and that position is P7. Bain's now in the pits, and that Red Bull is all over the tail end of him. We've got to wait for the DRS zone. No point diving up there. In he comes, round the corner he goes. This time he gets close, and this is inevitable. James is going to have to say goodbye to the Red Bull, and we're going to actually witness the move live on camera, on board with Helmuth. And here we go. Here's the overtake. James is frantically trying to defend it, but he's not going to be able to. Into the left-hander he goes. Leaves plenty of room, and the Red Bull... Oh, James still nicks it back. Well done, James, but he cuts that wide, and the Red Bull's all over him like a rash and takes advantage of that very, very bad mistake there that James made. James just needs to settle down now, get back into the groove and chase him down, which he's doing very, very well. On the Dark Devil. Back on with the race leaders. They're still within DRS zone of each other, so these two are having an absolutely splendid battle. This is Almighty Cloud in the Mercedes P1. In P2, we've got Fonafay, and he's driving the Aston Martin, and these two guys have been side by side the whole race. So they're doing the very, very sensible thing, and they're towing each other along. And just look at the gap they have got now between them and P3. 13 seconds. No penalties so far, apart from the 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane for Birchie. And the fastest lap of the race so far is Almighty Cloud at 1:36.108. So there you have that. Back to the intervals and back to the stop situations. So 4 people have made stops. 2 of them have been made by suspension. He must have had damage. Yes, he did. We mentioned that he had a front wing damage there. So he's been in and had the pits put a new wing on. On the Raging Hawk again. These two are having an absolute blast, and the Raging Hawk goes for the outside move. Sort of a switchback type of a move, but the Red Bull holds him to the outside. and he gets pushed slightly wide there, and this is really, really intense between these two, and the Racing Bull tightens up and gets through, and that's a lovely move by the Racing Hawk in P10. Grave Killer is going to chase him down and have another go. These two just are not letting go of each other whatsoever. Back on with Dark Devil. Oh, he's really catching. Pack's trying to make a move here. He's going for the inside of Swifty. And he makes it stick, and he gets P4. Swifty's all over the back of him. Round the right-hander he goes. This is a furious little battle of three here. And Dark Devil's right on the back of it, and he's wanting a bit of the fun. So he's going to hang in, and this is going to be a 3-car race and a 3-car battle until the pit stop, that's for sure. Oh, look at that! Swifty gets an absolute drift there, and he really rescues that really quite well. But that's going to tell him something. That's going to tell him either to slow down or get off those tires and get something else on. Whether he just got onto the throttle a little too soon there, but he's got himself back together again, and he's chasing down Dark Devil. Into the left-hander he goes. A lot of people going into the pits now, but I'm staying on with this little battle here because this is quite good to watch. 10-second penalty for severe collision with suspension, and that's for Bain. Just goes down and see what happened there. Has there been damage? No damage that I can see there. Any damage with suspension? Yes, indeed. Suspension's got another wing problem. So these lads are bashing each other up quite badly at the back. On with Birchie. Birchie's driving the Williams. He's in P14 and he's chasing down Andy Adams. Andy Allen even. Andy goes way wide and Birchie takes that easily, and he's now going to go after the P12 position, but he's got a fair wee bit to go. On with LF James. Two McLaren's battling it out. Side to side they go, down the straight. Remember, guys, your teammates. So James has the nice new livery and John has the old livery. So I think James is being paid about £18 million more. He's obviously in the upgraded car. Poor John, he's on the old livery. He's lost a bit of time there. And there's now a fair little bit of separation on the track. Back on with Dark Devil as he tries to track down Swifty in this Alpine. And he's doing a pretty good job at it. Gives the ERS a bit of a squeeze. He wants to get close to the gearbox of this Alpine going down the straight. Can he get the speed out of the corner? He can. And he's going to go over to the DRS and he might just try a move here. He's squeezing everything. There goes the DRS and now he's squeezing the ERS, but don't be using it all up if you can't make the move. It's going to be a waste. So he just tucks in into the left-hander he goes. Really bit of late braking, and these two guys are on it big time. On with IBM 18, he's having a little battle too with the Racing Hawk. So the two Racing Bulls are playing the team game here, and what they really should do is really team up and just track down each driver as they go. Bonifay puts in a 1:34.826, and he still remains 1 second and 1.3 seconds ahead of P2 Almighty Cloud. So right now I'm going to go down each driver in their positions. Bonifay in the Aston Martin, P1. In P2 in the Mercedes is Almighty Cloud. In P3 the Aston Martin, oh no, he's going in for a pit stop, and that puts Swifty into P3. So the Aston Martin of Keers has done a pit stop, and he's now changed his tyres. So you can see the stops now, and you can just have a look. I'm just going to keep the stops up so that we know when we have an equal playing field. Keers comes out there in P6, and he's in a really nice position now to really battle for a podium position. Let's see how he goes as the race develops. All on with James again. Yellow flag. What's the yellow flag for? It's disappeared again, so somebody just must have went off track. That's all it was. Nothing more sinister than that, I don't think. Here comes the Aston Martin with the fresh tyres. He makes this move very easily on the Mercedes, and he takes Kira clean out and puts himself back into P5, and he's now chasing down the Raging Hawk. There's your tyre situation. Wow, this guy is absolutely and very noticeably quick here. I don't know what Keers has had for breakfast, but he's knocking the snap, crackle and pop out of this Aston Martin, and he's chasing down, and he's going to take that position, and he's going to make it stick, and he takes the inside, he fires the brakes on, easily takes that position, and off he goes, and he's going to separate, and he's going to fly, because this lad has got some serious pace. The Raging Hawk will find it difficult hanging on, and I hope the hell he does, because that Aston is absolutely melting down there. On with Kira. I'm just going to leave it on broadcast mode for just about 2 minutes till I fix myself a little double espresso, because my throat is starting to get sore and I'm getting hoarse. So I'll be back just in 1 second. But you can just watch this battle between these three lads battling it out here, and I'll be back just in 2 seconds. This is the WERC Racing League on a Friday night. It's their first league race. We're in Austin, Texas. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and we're 15 laps out of 28. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, double espresso in hand, and there's been some frantic battling going on here. These two are cooking. They are cooking like two oven chips together in the oven, and they're not letting up on each other, and it's fantastic to see the Raging Hawk holding that the Mercedes, and they are having a complete and utter battlefield here. This is unbelievable. Side-by-side stuff going round this left-hander, and they are not letting up whatsoever, and what a fantastic bit of driving there. Into the left-hander they go, and they are battling frantically, and they're providing some amazing stuff here for the viewers this evening. Over the line they go. He hits the DRS. He's going to have some speed on him here. Will he try the bomb up the inside? I'm not too sure he will. He's going to wait for the next DRS zone, but I'm going to stay on with this little battle at the moment because there's so much separation on the track. So we're on with the Raging Hawk at the moment, and he's battling with Kira in the Mercedes, and they are having one hell of a little scrap. But he needs to gain, and he needs to gain fast. Yellow flag, what was that caution for? It's away again. Here comes the drag race. Down the straight he goes. He gets nice and tightly under the back, and he's going to have DRS, and there's going to be another move here. 31% of the battery. Has he got enough? Can he send it? He's trying. He's going to go up the inside, is he? He's going to try the outside move, and he's going to try and make it stick, and he does, and the Raging Hawk. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff between these two drivers. This is Racing Bull versus Mercedes at its very, very best here tonight in Austin, Texas. Unbelievable battling going on here with these two. These two guys are going to have one hell of a chat on Discord tonight. This is fantastic. Lap 18 of 28, and we are on fire here in Austin with these two lads. But let's see the leaders as they still battle out for P1. They've got a massive lead now on the rest of the field, and they are away. So we're looking either one of these two. We're looking at our race winner. It's either going to be Almighty Cloud or it's going to be Fonafay in the Aston Martin. And Fonafay right now is right on the box, and they are having an absolute frantic scrap here for P1. Some penalties to announce. Let's see what they are. 10-second penalty for Kira, 10 seconds for Birchie, 10 for John, and 10 for Bain in the Haas. All the stops have been made, and I reckon they're all on the tyres that they're going to try and finish this race on. Almighty Cloud is pulled out of the DRS zone. He's going to try frantically, but there's a back marker in front of him. Let's see what this back marker does. He's going to have to pull over and let these two fast guys absolutely through here. Let's not hold them up whatsoever, because Fonafay is frantically trying to get, Almighty Cloud is trying to keep him out of his DRS zone, but he is there. He's still 8.8 behind, and he's going to get in there. So that back marker has definitely got to move. Let's see how this back marker behaves. He's not behaving. Oh, he is, just about. He makes very short work of that. And they both get through safely, and the scrap will continue. So let's go down the positions as they are on the track right now. In P1, in the Mercedes, we've got Almighty Cloud in the Mercedes. Oh, the Aston gets it squirrely there, but he picks it back up again. But look who's on his back. The back marker's having a little race with him. That'll not be long. So in third position, we've got Kears in the Aston Martin. And behind him, we've got Kira in the Mercedes. In P5, we've got the Raging Hawk in the Racing Bull. In P6, we've got Dark Devil, and he's chasing down Racing Hawk. And he just seems to me really, really trying hard there to try and get on the back of that Racing Bull. In 7, we've got Swifty. In 8, we've got the Red Bull of Helmuth. In 9th, we've got the McLaren of LFC James. In 10th, we've got the league owner. He's on the medium compound tires, 3-lap old, and that's IBM in the Racing Bull. Grave Killer is in the Red Bull in P11. John D is in the the McLaren in P12. In P13, in the pits is Birchie. In 14th is the Ferrari of Andy Allen. Being in the Haas and suspension in P16. But not one person has DNF'd out of this race. That's a fantastically good sign, and that's a sign of commitment, and that's what the boss will be looking for. Super stuff. But Almighty Cloud has now got himself a real big lead because Fonafe has obviously made a mistake. Has he got some sort of damage? Let's see. Oh, the Red Bull's just behind him. He's going into the pits. Let's see what he's doing. 21 laps. Is he going to put a set of mediums or a set of softs on? Let's see. He's going to go with the mediums. He's going to come out in P2 okay. So he just gets a nice new set of rubber on, and he's just going to try very hard now to track down Almighty Cloud on those 9-lap old hards. So interesting stuff going on here now. Raging Hawk's in the pits as well. On goes a set of mediums for him. On with the Aston Martin of Keers. Keers is chasing down his teammate, and he wants that position, and he gets it very easily. Takes that inside manoeuvre, and Keers has now got himself into P2. On with Swifty. Dark Devil just made the move on Kira there. Into the right-hander, Swifty goes. Riding on board on the Alpine with Swifty. A lap 21 of 28 here in Austin, Texas. And those hard tires are just starting to sway about a wee bit on the track. Going for an inside move. Does he make it stick? No, he doesn't. He's going to wait for the DRS zone on the straight. And this should be an easy move for the Alpine. Let's see if he can make it. Oh, he just lost a wee bit of position there. Here is in the pits in the Mercedes. 6 laps to go. I don't have you as a friend, buddy. I don't think I can invite you back. I don't see you on there. Really sorry. Almost Swifty. He's chasing down Dark Devil for that third position. He wants that podium. I'll try once again, Fonafe, but I definitely sent you an invite earlier. Whether you actually accept it or not, I don't know. Nope, definitely not there. Okay, let me know when you're ready for an invite, but I definitely didn't see you online, EFE Burke. Almost Swifty. Outside move being made. Can he make it stick? He takes the inside line. Try again. Okay, hold on. There you go. On the helmet. 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for Swifty. That's going to be an absolute crucial penalty. Look at this little battle round the left-hander. Swifty's trying to take the inside line. The kick Saba, just a little touch together there. Just a little racing incident, nothing sinister whatsoever, but they're battling so hard. I'm riding on board with the Alpine of Swifty, and these two guys are battling. Sorry to be spending so much time on the one battle. Is he going to go for the inside? It looks like he's going to try it. It's going to be a late brake manoeuvre. In round the left-hander he goes, and he takes that P3 position. But he's carrying a penalty, and Dark Devil all needs to do is just sit behind him, and he's got a guaranteed P3. On way LFC James. On with the Dark Devil. He's got a podium. All he needs to do is just sit tight behind Swifty. No point compromising his position. I know he wants to win on the track, but if he's going to make an overtake, he needs to make it nice and cleanly, or they'll end up in the ditch. And there's no point ending up in the ditch, because right now, Dark Devil in that kick Saba is sitting in third position because Swifty is carrying that 3-second penalty. He will know that, and if he's any sense, he will just do something very sensible, and that will just wait for the DRS zones and try and make his move, like right now, and he's perfectly in place to do it. Off he goes, hits the DRS line now, and he's going to give it a little squeeze, and he's going to make the outside move, and he does it beautifully, and he just puts that Alpine right behind him, and he takes that left-hander, and the Alpine is going to sit in now and wait for his turn. So on track at the moment, we've got back markers all being passed by Almighty Cloud. So he's just going to have a job to do, passing these back markers. P1, P2 is Kears in the Aston Martin. Dark Devil is third position at the moment, being battled hard by Swifty in P4. These two guys are having a real super race, and they will have a lot of chat in Discord later. This has been great for our viewers to watch this evening. Fantastic battling going on between this kick and this Alpine. And there's another one round the left-hander they go. The Alpine takes it very cleanly. Lots of room being left, and out to the outside he goes. The kick then goes into the inside. They're touching wheels once again. They just need to flip and calm down, or they're both going to end up in P10. Absolutely lovely stuff by that Alpine, and Swifty now sits into third position, and Dark Devil is chasing him down in fourth. In fifth, we've got the Racing Hawk. He's had a lovely race this evening. Suspension gets a 3-second penalty for multiple track warnings. Helmuth is in sixth position at the moment on those 14-lap old hards. Kira is in seventh position in the Mercedes. Bonifay has dropped back. He dropped out with the internet problem in P8, but thankfully we got him back in the Aston Martin, and he's still in the points situation. But he was a potential podium position before that trouble. LFC James in ninth in the McLaren, 15-lap old hards, and IBN, the leader, the owner of the league, is sitting nicely in 10th position, and again he'll pick up some nice points for that. Behind him we've got Gravekiller in the Red Bull sitting in P11. John D is in P12 in the McLaren. The P13 is TTV Birchie, and 14th is Bain in the Haas. 15th is Andy Allen, and he's having all sorts of problems. Looks like he has damage. Let's see if he has. Yes, indeed, he's got no front, and both of his right and left end plates are gone, so he needs to go into the pit. 3-second penalty for Helmuth, and he needs to be doing something about that. Suspension is in last position, and I think he is carrying damage as well. Yes, he doesn't seem to have a right end plate, and he is also very much struggling for downforce and traction in that Ferrari. So back on with Dark Devil. This is where your battle is. Dark Devil versus Swifty for P3 on the track. Even though Dark Devil has this little battle, because he's going to end up in P3 with that penalty that Swifty's carrying. So Dark Devil does not need to be getting a penalty at this stage of the race. Lap 28, we're on the very last lap, and we're going to be seeing the winners coming through, and I'm going to ride on board with Almighty Cloud. Andy Allen gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Round the lap, this is your race leader, and it's going to be your race winner, and that is Almighty Cloud in the Mercedes. Round the left-hander he goes. Down the final straight. An absolutely fabulous race here. John D gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And Almighty Cloud just might pull in for a Big Mac and chips and a Coke. He might even have a McFlurry, and he still will have time to win this race. What a fabulous race by Almighty Cloud. In this Mercedes, he has led, and he has done a phenomenal job. Into the left-hander, down into this very, very tight right-hander, penalty-free. And you are on board with this evening's very, very first race. And this is your race winner. And will he give us a wiggle over the line? Of course he will. There it is. 2nd position is going to be the Aston Martin. And that is Kears in P2. And here we have P2 coming over the line now in your Aston Martin car this evening. Over the line he goes, and that's Keir's P2. And here comes Swifty and Dark Devil, who have battled it all the way around here. Swifty holds it on track, Dark Devil holds it on the points, and Dark Devil is going to be P3 and Swifty P4. In fact, Swifty goes down to P5 because Racing Hawk nicks P4 off him with the penalty. Helmuth in the Red Bull is going round the final left-hander now, and he is going to come over the line in P6. In P7, after all the difficulties, we've got Fonafay in the Aston Martin. He's P7. In P8, we've got Kira, and he is just coming round now. And I think the game is going to end it. So there you have it. Race is over. There is your race winner in that beautiful Mercedes. He's a happy guy. A very dominant race, very dominant win. He looks down and he says to himself, there's my first win of the WERC League on a Friday night. This was Austin, Texas. The champagne comes out. The celebrations all being enjoyed by all three drivers. They'll be loving the points. And there you have some statistics from the race. Almighty Cloud, P1. Fastest lap, Fonafay. Helmuth 2 is the driver of the day. Most overtakes was Helmuth 2. And Kears was the cleanest driver in the Aston Martin. And there are all of your Almighty Cloud, Kears, Dark Devil, Raging Hawk, Swifty, Helmuth, Fonafay, Kira, James, IBN 1810, Grave Killer is an 11, Birchie 12th, John 13th, Bain 14th, Andy Allen is 15th, and Suspension in 16th. I really do believe that the owner of this league will be very, very, very happy with the first race of the evening. Yes, there were a few incidents, and yes, there are a few things to learn, especially blocking people when they're on their quali lap. But that takes time, and that's all down to driver awareness, and that will all come in time. And I always end the stream in saying thanks to all of the people that organize these fabulous little communities for people to get together on a Friday night, have a bit of a fun, have a race, and all the rest of it. But having spoken to BN18, I know he's deadly, deadly serious. And I believe that he wants to run a very, very professional race. And I do know that he wants all of you to give him absolute support, especially when attending and checking in for races and stuff like that. I know it's a bit of a pain, but whenever you're an administrator and an owner of a league, it's very, very important that he knows all of his numbers and he keeps everything up to date for you guys to have a really, really good night on a Friday night. It has been my pleasure to do the comms for your first race of the season, and I'm looking forward to watching a few more races when your commentator comes back from his holidays. And maybe even from time to time, I may jump in and get the odd race. Have a good chat on Discord, lads. You should all be very, very proud of yourself. That was a fabulous little night, and I hope you all enjoy watching it back on stream. Just remember, if you want to subscribe to my channel and you want to watch it back without the adverts, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe through Amazon Prime. Just hit subscribe button on my Twitch channel, and through Amazon Prime, you will get subscribing free. That will get rid of the adverts. If you're really fed up with the adverts, and by the way, I have them turned down absolutely as far as they go, you can pay your own money, but I don't expect anybody to do that. But the adverts bug me, and if I enjoy watching something enough, I'm happy enough to pay a few quid to watch it 3 or 4 times a month. So anyway, on that note, thank you very, very much for entertaining everybody that viewed tonight, and I hope every single one of you watch it back and enjoy it as it was your first race and the first of many good ones. I've been Gavin Bass. This was Austin, Texas Live, and this was the WERC League on a Friday night. And I'll speak to you all soon at some stage, I hope. Good night.
Gavin Basswan on the microphone. The energy is high, feel the vibe in the zone. Engines roar as the lights go down. Racers ready, it's a battle for the crown. Who will rise? Who will stand tall? On the top step, they'll answer the call. With hearts racing and spirits ignited, the champion's moment is finally sighted. Adrenaline pumping, the crowd is alive. Speeding through corners, they take the dive. Every lap counts, the stakes are set. In this game of skill, there's no room for regret. Listen closely, hear the engine scream. Chasing glory, living the dream. Battles unfold on the asphalt track. In pursuit of victory, there's no turning back. Feel the thrill as the tires grip tight. Under the stars, everything feels right.